was unbelievable in this series. And they're just great competitors. And to knock them out is difficult. It is really difficult. So our guys, congratulations to our guys. You know, first time in 10 years our fans have had this kind of feeling. And so that's a great thing for this city and the state. We'll see who the next opponent is, but you know, I thought our guys, you know, learned an awful lot in this series. It's hard to go through a playoff series against an experienced team like this, you know, as your first time in the playoffs. And we had a lot of guys that were first timers in this, but they learned the things that you need to learn along the way. And you know, the ability to win the game, win game 2 and get home court advantage was obviously enormous. And we had so many guys that played great. You know, Miles Turner, you know, was the foundation of this effort. He was just phenomenal. Didn't score much today, but you know, his fingerprints were all over this series. Tyrese was great. You know, Siakam was great. Obi Toppin today had a phenomenal game. Can't say enough about the job Nembhard did defensively, the job Aaron did defensively, you know, on both Lillard and Middleton. I mean, these guys are, in my mind, both Hall of Fame players. And so, you know, just really, really, really happy for our guys.
Rick, you mentioned before the playoffs even that the goal wasn't to make it, was to keep going through it. And now the first time in a decade, you said you're moving on. What did this mean to you and this team to actually accomplish this?
Well, I think I just went through all that. I mean, it's so difficult to win a playoff series. You know, you talk about getting to the playoffs, and it's like in college when you have a really good team and you talk about getting to the Final Four, and then all of a sudden just getting to the Final Four is kind of, you know, where your expectation was. You've got to think bigger than that. And, you know, I've said for 2 years now, you know, we're a franchise with big dreams. And, you know, we don't know exactly where this is going to go from here. We don't know who the opponent is. But you have to have big dreams and aspirations, you know, to continue to grow and to continue to push yourself. So the thing I love about our team is that, you know, we're a true team. You know, we've got some great individual players, but we're a group that needs each other. And I think it's something that the people of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana can get behind.
You mentioned just Aaron and Andrew's defense. What impressed you about just your collective defense tonight? I mean, I think you held them under 25 in 3 of the 4 quarters. Obviously, a pretty big benchmark for you. Just what did you like about just what you guys did across the board there?
Well, we had to make some adjustments coming into this game. We had to, you know, our poor offense was leading to bad defense. Our crowd was a big factor in this game, and you know, the difference in the series was pressure. And it's very difficult to get, you know, a group of guys to buy into, you know, 94-foot full court pressure on every possession. That's not a fast break, and our guys did it. You know, it was you know, Siakam was picking up full court. You know, Toppin was picking. Everybody was doing it, and so, you know, that allowed us to maintain our pace. And we just felt that if we could keep pressure on them, that we could make it difficult.
I asked you about resiliency in pregame and how these guys are, you know, were 23-12 and come back in losses.
Well, first of all, you know, let me talk about McConnell, because McConnell, you know, last game had a rough game, and you know, his bounce back today was absolutely phenomenal. I would say in this game, you know, he was the major difference maker, you know, with defensive intensity full court. He knocked in 2 or 3 threes. You know, he got in some difficult hoops around the basket. The crowd was going crazy. You know, that period, late third, early fourth quarter was just, you know, it was something else.
I was just going to go back to that, but for them as a whole, I mean, just what makes these guys – what is it about the makeup of this team that makes it good at taking the lesson from a win and a loss and moving on from it without dwelling on it?
Well, I mean, you know, Kevin and Chad have done a great job of not only collecting a great group of young, talented players, but great people. And so, you know, we work at communication. We are collaborative with our guys. We make sure they have a voice when we are talking about difficult decisions in a series, and we're all in the whole thing together. So. And it was pretty clear, coming into this, there was statistical evidence, but there was also evidence as the series progressed that we needed to continue to play a full court defensive game against these guys. So we'll see about the next series. Who knows? It may be a totally different thing, but once again, I just this is one of the reasons we acquired Pascal Siakam, was to have a chance not only to get to the playoffs, but to advance in the playoffs. And he showed tonight the kind of difference maker he's been here. And so I should say he showed in this series. He played well tonight, but he's been tremendous, and he's also been a tremendous teammate and a great leader.
Rick, what impressed you most about the way you guys handled this series, and just about the way you played in this series?
Well, the emotions of an intense playoff series with a young team are something that